Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here with us today. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a returning guest, we appreciate you taking the time to be here. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as we dive into something exciting together. For thousands of years, the Cree people have lived in harmony with the land, guided by the wisdom of their ancestors. Through oral traditions and sacred prophecies, they have foreseen a time when the earth would face great suffering, pollution, war, and imbalance. Yet, these prophecies are not merely warnings. They are a call to action, a message of hope, and a path to spiritual renewal. This is the story of the Cree prophecies and the vision of a world where humanity reawakens to its sacred responsibility to the earth. The Cree prophecies are an integral part of the cultural and spiritual heritage of the Cree people, one of Canada's largest Indigenous groups, whose traditional territories span the vast regions of Canada, from Alberta to Quebec and into the northern parts of the United States. The Cree have lived for thousands of years in close relationship with the land, practicing traditions that prioritize balance and respect for the earth. Their prophecies, many of which have been passed down through oral tradition, speak to the cycles of life and the impact of human actions on the planet. Among the Cree, prophecies are not just predictions of the future, they are warnings, teachings, and guiding principles meant to influence the behavior of individuals and communities in the present. Cree prophecy often speaks of times of darkness, struggle, and suffering, but they also carry a hopeful message about the power of renewal, spiritual awakening, and the potential for humans to live in harmony with the earth once more. In many ways, these prophecies reflect the interconnectedness of all life, an essential belief in Cree culture, and they outline a path forward that emphasizes the importance of returning to the rhythms of nature. Cree prophecy, deeply rooted in their connection to the land, speaks to the catastrophic consequences of humanity's growing disconnection from the earth and its natural cycles. A central theme within these prophecies is a period of great darkness, a time marked not only by physical decay, but also by spiritual and emotional suffering. This darkness represents the breakdown of the harmony that once existed between humans and the earth, a unity that the Cree see as essential to the well-being of both the environment and its inhabitants. At the core of Cree prophecy is the idea that the earth is a living being, interconnected with every form of life. The Cree understand that every action taken by humans affects the balance of nature. This understanding shapes their worldview, seeing the land not just as a resource, but as a sacred entity deserving of respect. However, as industrialization spreads and humanity's desire for profit outweighs the need to protect the environment, the balance between humans and nature is disturbed. Pollution, deforestation, and the unrestrained extraction of natural resources are seen as the primary forces driving the earth toward a state of sickness. According to the Cree, this period of darkness is a manifestation of humanity's collective spiritual and moral failings. As industries expand and prioritize profit over preservation, the natural world suffers. The once vibrant ecosystems are degraded, air and water quality worsen, and biodiversity diminishes. The earth, once abundant and teeming with life, becomes a mere shadow of its former self. The Cree prophecy suggests that these environmental losses will be accompanied by widespread social and economic inequality, war, and injustice. As the natural world deteriorates, so too does the human spirit, manifesting in societal structures that perpetuate suffering and division. One of the most potent symbols in Cree prophecy related to this period of darkness is the black snake. This metaphor is often associated with oil pipelines, which are seen as a direct threat to the land's health. The black snake, with its destructive power, represents not only the environmental degradation caused by resource extraction, but also the spiritual and cultural devastation that follows. The black snake signifies a rupture in the relationship between Indigenous peoples and their ancestral lands. The loss of the land's health is seen as the loss of wisdom and guidance, as Indigenous people have long held deep knowledge of how to live in harmony with nature. The disregard for this wisdom, combined with the exploitation of natural resources, is thought to lead humanity into a time of suffering and confusion. Furthermore, Cree prophecies forewarn that the deepening environmental and societal crises will be accompanied by the loss of spiritual connection to the land. As materialism and consumerism take hold of the collective consciousness, people will lose sight of their responsibility to care for the earth. This separation from the land and its wisdom will cause not only environmental collapse, but also a spiritual and emotional void in human society. The Cree believe that only by reconnecting with the land, by honoring the earth and its teachings, can humanity hope to avert or heal from this period of darkness. Ultimately, the Cree prophecy serves as both a warning and a call to action. It reminds humanity that the earth is not an infinite resource to be exploited, but a living entity in need of care and respect. The suffering foretold in the prophecy is not an inevitable fate, but a consequence of humanity's choices. The Cree offer hope, suggesting that through spiritual renewal, reverence for nature, and a return to more sustainable ways of living, humanity can restore balance and avert the darkness that threatens to consume the world. One of the primary causes of the Great Darkness in Cree prophecy is pollution both of the land and the air. As humanity exploits the earth for its resources, the land becomes tainted, and the natural systems that once supported life begin to break down. In the Cree worldview, the land is not something to be owned or conquered, but something to be respected and cared for. Pollution represents a breach of this sacred relationship. Pollution, especially from industrial practices such as oil extraction, mining, and deforestation, is believed to have a profound effect on the Earth's health. The Cree often speak of the rivers, lakes, and forests being poisoned by chemicals and waste, leading to the suffering of both animals and people. As the land becomes poisoned, the balance of life is disrupted, and communities that rely on the land for sustenance and spiritual connection find themselves in crisis. Water, which holds great spiritual significance in many indigenous cultures, including the Cree, is often a central element in these prophecies. Clean water is considered sacred, and its pollution is seen as a direct attack on the earth's vitality. In many Cree prophecies, the contamination of rivers and lakes symbolizes the spiritual illness of humanity. The water is no longer pure, and the rivers can no longer carry the wisdom and teachings that they once did. The prophecies warn that this period of pollution and environmental destruction will lead to widespread suffering, particularly for indigenous peoples who rely on traditional practices such as hunting, fishing, and gathering. As the land becomes increasingly contaminated and resources become scarce, communities will be forced to confront the consequences of their actions. The Cree see this as a time of reckoning, where humanity must face the consequences of its disregard for the natural world. In addition to the environmental devastation foreseen in Cree prophecy, there is a profound focus on the escalation of war, violence, and social unrest. These conflicts, both external and internal, are viewed as the outcome of humanity's increasing greed, power struggles, and the unchecked exploitation of the Earth's resources. The Cree speak of the wars of the future, which are not limited to physical battles between nations, but also encompass spiritual warfare. These wars reflect a deeper crisis, as humanity becomes disconnected from its sacred relationship with the land. For the Cree, social harmony is a cornerstone of collective well-being. When this harmony is disrupted, suffering spreads throughout communities and across the planet. As conflict intensifies, whether through warfare, inequality, or social discord, the spiritual bond between people and the earth deteriorates. The violence and chaos are seen as direct consequences of this disintegration of balance. The earth, as a living entity, responds to the suffering caused by human actions, becoming sick and unrecognizable. However, despite the foreboding nature of these prophecies, the Cree also view this time of darkness as a catalyst for eventual transformation. They believe that this period of immense suffering will lead to a spiritual awakening, a moment when humanity will begin to remember its sacred connection to the earth and its role as caretakers. The awakening is seen as a necessary step toward the renewal of both the land and the people. It is a time for reflection, healing, and a return to balance, ultimately bringing forth a new era of harmony, peace, and environmental stewardship. While the Cree prophecies speak of a time of great darkness, they also carry a message of hope and renewal. The Cree believe that those who live in harmony with the earth, respecting its rhythms and cycles, will survive this dark period and help lead the world into a new era of spiritual awakening. In many ways, this renewal is not just a return to physical health, but also a return to spiritual health. Central to the Cree prophecies is the idea that the earth is a living being and that it has the capacity to heal itself. However, this healing is dependent on humanity's willingness to change its ways. The Cree believe that in order for the earth to renew itself, humans must first acknowledge the damage they have caused and make a conscious effort to restore balance. This renewal is also tied to a spiritual awakening, where people rediscover their sacred connection to the land. The Cree often speak of a return to the old ways, a time when people will live in harmony with the land, respecting the animals, plants, and all living things. The prophecies emphasize that true harmony can only be achieved when humanity remembers its role as caretakers of the earth, living in balance with the natural world and respecting the wisdom of the ancestors. The Cree believe that the awakening of this sacred connection will lead to a new era of peace, cooperation, and respect for all life. In this new era, Indigenous knowledge and traditions will be valued, and the wisdom of the elders will guide humanity toward a more sustainable and spiritually fulfilling future. The earth will heal, and humanity will once again walk in balance with nature. The Cree prophecies are a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of living in harmony with the earth. They warn of the consequences of neglecting the natural world, but they also offer hope for renewal and transformation. These prophecies call on humanity to awaken to the realities of environmental destruction, social unrest, and spiritual imbalance, and to take responsibility for the healing of the earth. In many ways, the Cree prophecies mirror the struggles we face today: the degradation of the environment, the rise of social injustice, and the disconnect between humanity and the land. However, they also offer a path forward, a path that involves respect for the earth, spiritual awakening, and a return to traditional ways of living in balance with nature. For the Cree, the future is not fixed, but dependent on the choices we make today. Through awareness, action, and a return to the sacred, humanity can heal itself and the earth, and create a new era of peace and harmony for all. The Cree prophecies remind us that we are not separate from the earth, but one with it. As we stand at the crossroads of environmental destruction and spiritual awakening, the time has come to listen to the wisdom of the past and act for the future. The darkness may be deep, but there is always the possibility of renewal. Through harmony with the land, respect for all life, and a commitment to healing, we can create a new era of peace, one where humanity and the earth thrive together.